Hello everyone. My name is Aniza and I am a student of international relations. So, in this video let's talk about Charlie Tilley's book, War Making and State Making as Organized Crime. Charles Tilley, 1929 to 2008, was an American sociologist, political scientist, and historian who wrote on the relationship between politics and society. He was a professor of history, sociology, and social science at the University of Michigan from 1969 to 1984 before becoming the Joseph L. Utenweiser Professor of Social Science at Columbia University. Tilley said war made states, and states made war. Violence is not just an aberration but a fundamental tool used by governments to achieve their goals, whether it's suppressing dissent, enforcing laws, or waging war. Protection racket. For example, you own this nice flower store but you're not in a very safe neighborhood. Indeed, in your neighborhood there have been several different break-ins and robberies, even some stabbings, and it does not seem like it's very safe place to do business. One day a guy who looks like this. He walks into your store and says, "Oh, what a lovely flower store, and it would be such a shame if somebody came in and burned this place to the ground, stole all your money and beat you up. But you know there's a lot of bad guys out there and you know I could potentially protect you. I mean, if you gave me some resources too. If you gave me a little bit of money I could probably protect you. But if you don't pay me, I can't even guarantee that my own guys won't rough you up." Racket. It's a scam because you don't really have a choice. Your choice is either to give the money to this more powerful bandit, who, as you know, has power over you, or take a chance. State making as organized crime. This is a map of Germany from the 1400s. There are a lot of tiny political organizations, none of them have much power, which means that they are vulnerable. And therefore larger lords and kings can come to these small communities and say, "It's a dangerous world here, people are robbing, raping, and it would be terrible if your sweet village was just destroyed and everyone will be killed, but you know, if you give me some profit from your crops and your trade, I will protect you. If you pay my taxes, then we will unite and make sure that all these bad people leave." So the idea here is to get out of the natural state. It's very Hobbesian. It's the story of the creation of Leviathan. And Leviathan appears in the form of local bandits who pool the resources of all these small communities to say, "I will protect you," and of course there are more and more of them. It's a continuous cycle. So imagine a really small place that unites to become a more powerful military force in the region. And other places also unite so that your neighbor's armed forces also become more powerful. And then you have to obey this, tie it together. That's right, war creates states. Because the threat of war forces people to give part of their sovereignty and their resources in the form of taxes and even military service to larger lords, more powerful kings, but, you know, cyclically these large lords and their kings wage war on each other against each other. And therefore they need even more protection, so you need protection, so you join the state. But there is a war going on in the state, so you need protection even more, so the states get bigger. It's a kind of self-perpetuating cycle. Charles Tilley says that we are creating a quintessential racket in the state, which, thanks to its legitimacy, can be considered our largest example of organized crime. And so he says that the development of a modern state is similar to mafia activity, except for one thing: the presence of legitimacy. What do states do? As should now be clear, Lane's analysis of protection fails to distinguish among several different uses of state-controlled violence. Under the general heading of organized violence, The agents of states characteristically carry on 4 different activities. 1. War-making. Eliminating or neutralizing their own rivals outside the territories in which they have clear and continuous priority as wielders of force. 2. State-making. Eliminating or neutralizing their rivals inside those territories. Protection. Eliminating or neutralizing the enemies of their clients. Extraction. Acquiring the means of carrying out the first 3 activities: war-making, state-making, and protection.